A food delivery guy just helped an elderly lady carry her luggage, but he ended up being a suspect in a murder case, even though he pleaded desperately in court. The prosecutor pulled out an autopsy report. His bodily fluids were in the report, directly confirming his guilt. Faced with being labeled a murderer, the man fell more and more apart. Finally, he cried out, helplessly saying he wasn't the killer. Why was he found guilty of murder? What secret is hidden behind this? John is a hard-working food delivery driver, and he loves gardening. This hobby made him an expert in plant care. It was also this interest that led him to meet a beautiful girlfriend. The two planned to open a flower shop together. To save more money, John worked even harder delivering food. But what happened that day changed his life forever. First, when he rushed downstairs, he saw a potted plant being scorched by the sun. Out of kindness, John moved it to the side and thoughtfully left a note, reminding the owner how to take proper care of it. Then, after completing his next order, he met an elderly lady pulling a suitcase. At the lady's request, he helped pull the suitcase across the road. Later that night, he accidentally found a cell phone. The owner contacted John to get it back, and was willing to pay $200 as a reward. Hearing about the reward, John threw his trash in the bin, hopped on his motorcycle and rushed to the meeting spot. But when he arrived, he found only an underpass there. Luckily, the owner called, telling him to put the phone directly in the phone booth. John put the phone in the box, and sure enough found the $200 reward inside. At first, he thought it was just a stroke of luck, but he never expected. The next day, police burst into his unopened flower shop and arrested him. News of the delivery driver killing someone caused a huge stir. Media swarmed outside the police station, demanding answers. Why would John kill this woman? John was completely confused. He insisted he hadn't killed anyone, but the police seemed to have sufficient evidence, and didn't believe his defense at all. Soon, the trial date arrived. The prosecutor completely solidified John's guilt. First, surveillance showed John had been to the victim's neighborhood while delivering food on the day of the crime, and he stayed there unusually long. The surveillance footage showed he lingered there for a long time. The prosecutor questioned him why he stayed so long. Suddenly, John remembered moving a potted plant, saying he did it to make space, which sounded like a weak excuse, but he still told the truth. The prosecutor didn't respond immediately. Instead, he continued questioning why someone saw him hastily dragging a box nearby. It turned out the camera only captured him, not the elderly lady. Then the lawyer presented a piece of evidence. That box was actually a body bag, and only John's fingerprints were on it. Hearing this, John stood there in shock. Before he could react, the lawyer played the surveillance video. This series of events completely stunned John. Everything seemed too coincidental, but no matter what, he insisted he found the phone, and finally returned it to the owner. The lawyer then played another surveillance clip, but he pointed out that the location where the phone was returned was only a few dozen meters from the body dumping site. He questioned John how exactly he returned the phone. Seeing John start to stutter, the lawyer presented new evidence, physical evidence from the crime scene. At that moment, his girlfriend suddenly noticed a bracelet at the scene, and she recognized it immediately. When the lawyer showed the lab report, even his girlfriend no longer believed him. Finally, the lawyer delivered the final blow. No one in that building kept potted plants, and just like that, John was convicted of murder, facing an endless prison sentence.